Two will enter. One will win. Welcome to the fight. Welcome to the knockout.
If you go anywhere in the city preying on innocent people, and we will find you. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
As you wish.
Had to have a little fun there. Mr. Comics 89 here. Welcome to the Knockout, episode 20. We will figure out who will be going up against Poison Ivy in the semifinals. We got, obviously, Venom versus Darth Vader. So I look forward to this matchup an awful lot. It's a lot of fun. Venom is one of those cool characters. And Darth Vader, before I bring Chris in, who's arguing Darth Vader, I'm glad to see he got the representation and the progress he didn't get last season. He got shorted a little bit. He didn't make it past the second round, but Venom's making a heck of a run for it, so I cannot wait to see what he does for the rest of it. So please welcome Chris, the comic vet, arguing for Darth Vader. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you for having me again.
That's awesome.
Happy to be here representing him.
Yes, like I said, he didn't make it past the second round, and it was just a tough break for him, but maybe it was just his opponents this time, or just maybe voting. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and get the show started. The other guy's running just a little bit late, but I argued Venom, I think, last time, or I did a good job arguing Venom and one I had to do. But if not, I'll be arguing for him until he gets here. And if not, well, I had fun arguing Venom. So go ahead and take it away with your opening statement for Darth Vader, Chris, since you're here and he's not.
Well, thanks again for having me. What can be said about Darth Vader? Like, this is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the most famous villain in Hollywood history. He's the favorite. He's a favorite anti-hero. I want to say at this point, even though the anti-hero part is just very minimal, he really is a true villain. Every time he shows up on a screen, someone stops. You have to pay attention. It's just the way it is. You give respect to Darth Vader. When you hear that breathing, it's iconic. When you hear the Imperial March, it's also iconic. You know what's going to happen. When you see Darth Vader, someone dressed up as him as a Comic-Con, at a Comic-Con, you know what's going to happen? You're going to walk over and be like, hey, can I get a selfie with you? This is Darth Vader we're talking about. Anakin Skywalker. It's iconic. Again, you show an image of Darth Vader anywhere around this planet, people are going to know who that is. It's Darth Vader. Started in 1977, legend at this point today. Still going on strong. So much so that whenever they create a new Star Wars movie, if Darth Vader is not in it, they ask, where's Darth Vader? Red lightsaber, black costume, and that black cape. Iconic. What else can you say about the Lord of the Sith? Darth Vader. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. Well, what can we say other than Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, except he just wasn't there for his kids? have to give Chris the crap last time and have to give this time. It's my favorite joke. Well, what can I say about Venom since I had no prep? Well, I guess had sometime. Please welcome Harsh here. He's arguing for Venom. Welcome, man. How's it going?
What is up, everybody? Sorry about that. I'm a professional, except I'm not a professional. I decided to come late and have this while I'm driving.
Awesome.
Got it,
well, good. Well, we just started, and I was about to start your opening statement. So if you have your points, we'll let you make them instead of me. So take it away.
First off, all right, before we talk about how awesome the Venom is, let's just look at who he's going against. That's Darth Vader, right? This guy has literally killed children. Remember that, okay? He went into a temple and started killing a bunch of kids. So that's my opening statement right there. And then who do you guys want to support? But once we start talking about Venom, if we were talking about Spider-Man against Darth Vader, I'd give it to Darth Vader like all day. But Venom, as far as his regeneration, you know, like his health and everything, I mean, he could definitely take a lightsaber. At the end of the day, it comes down to, is this guy getting messed up by a lightsaber and I don't think that is it. And is he getting pulled apart by the Force? And when you're doing these what ifs, which I love, right? Because you could just debate forever, because everyone will come up with new topics and everything like that. The biggest thing, I mean, even me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm talking like, oh, well, Darth Vader would just roll up to him, use the Force, and just rip him apart. Take Venom away from the symbiote against Eddie Brock. Which, the first thing I do want to say, I mean, even though I said a bunch of stuff already, we already had knockdown where Venom went against Galactus, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, and he won.
You won.
I'm looking more at the make, okay? I'm looking at Venom. I'm not gonna go into the model. I'm not gonna get, Elseworlds or Donny Cates on you and get all crazy and say this is some amped up Venom. I'm just looking at it as Venom general, okay? I'm gonna keep it fair. With that said, don't get too non-George Lucas-y with me with Darth Vader and get all crazy. I mean, I read novels and stuff like that, but I'm keeping my Venom as a general Venom, not no like Beyonder type of weird stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, my Venom I'm just going as a general Venom. So his power, health, and if you dig a little deep, I mean, he can basically make himself invisible, not physically, but I'm saying basically lower his presence where Spider-Man can't even sense him,
Mm-hmm.
He can get past Spider-Man, Spidey sense getting triggered. So you got to assume he can do something similar with Vader, so it's not like Vader just enters the room and knows where he's at,
But
other than that, I'm just with it as my first 2 cents, I mean, this is top of my head. I didn't put too much thought on this, all right, guys? I was literally on the crapper this morning, my 20-minute crapper, and I said, okay, now let's really figure this out. And I'm confident, as a big Star Wars fan, I'm confident Venom would beat Darth Vader. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy at first glance, but you know what I'm saying? You put down whatever you're doing and just really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Darth Vader, his reputation precedes him 9 times out of 10 more than what he actually is. He's not Anakin. You know what I'm saying? He's not an adult Anakin. He's a weakened version. He's freaking in a suit that is purposely made to restrain his power by the Emperor. Mm-hmm. It's one hit, dude. Honestly, you look at Darth Vader, every time he lost in a fight, it only takes one hit. It's hard to get that one hit off, but you hit his chest piece, that guy is gone, dude.
Yeah. Well, classic Venom. All I have to say is a dodgeball quote. Bold move, Colin. Let's see if it works for him. So, Chris, how do you argue? Well, now that you know you're up against classic Venom and not basically God Venom, how is Vader gonna match up against Venom?
Exactly. Okay. I'm looking at classic Venom, not no God Venom or anything like that. I'm just saying.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Harsh. Nice to see you. Okay, but now, so I didn't take any shots at Venom, and it's difficult for me to speak up against Venom as being Canadian, and we all know the best part of Venom was made by a Canadian. But let's be honest here. Venom is nothing but a second best character. And I'm talking about the symbiote himself, because he was rejected by Peter Parker. So all he is just sloppy seconds. So if you want to go ahead and vote for sloppy seconds, by all means, step up and vote for the symbiote.
Prom night any day. I'll take that girl to prom night any day, bro. I'll take that.
Step up and vote for your sloppy seconds. But let's be honest. We're talking about someone who can't even handle any loud noise. He can't even handle Yanny. If you're to crank up Yanny, he runs away like a little bitch. And one punch, we're talking Darth Vader, one punch, that's not an opportunity. And to say that somehow Venom would best Vader, that's not going to happen either, because there's no way Venom would actually get close. We're talking about the strongest force wielder in the history of the galaxy here. This is a man who can simply hold his hand forward, and Venom's not getting any close, and can literally then start to rip him off of Brock himself and push Brock outside of the starship or wherever he is. And that's the end of Eddie Brock. Again, we're talking about a little bit of black ooze that's supposed to be going up against a legendary military mind in Darth Vader. It's just not going to happen. And again, it pains me to speak against Venom, who's created by Todd McFarlane, who all of us can agree that we all respect. But Venom against Vader, this is not necessarily a fair fight. I don't know how Venom got past Galactus, but yet here we are today.
That's the only time we'll agree. I'm sorry on this episode is that part right there.
Well, I shared a picture on that matchup where Venomized Galactus, where Venom absorbed Galactus, so therefore you could argue that. So
the Venomized Vader.
I mean, like I said, the people debating Venom, they went like God Venom and all this crazy stuff. I try to keep it as fair as possible, right? Like, like I said, I'm not trying to get all crazy. If you're really like discuss this and you're like being serious about it, like a what if, right?
Mhm.
It's like you said, why doesn't Darth Vader just go up and rip them apart? A, will he be able to sense that it's even two beings, right? Because like I said, Venom can hide himself, and he can't, use the Force as far as his mind, because Venom is one of the best person at blocking telepathy, because he's always connected to Eddie Brock. If you, I mean, you know enough about Venom, you can Google that, because that's what I did. But you have to cross the line. Why doesn't Darth Vader just go and blow everyone's brain in their head first thing? There's got to be some type of limit of his power when you're doing a what if, and I'm assuming that there's a reason why he doesn't just do that. I mean, even before Vader, Anakin, when he's like in the freaking stadium and there's all these beasts and they're about to die, why doesn't he just flick his finger and blow his head, use the Force to just like take him from the inside out, like blow up or just break his neck or something crazy? There's got to be a limit. It's Star Wars, right?
He was on the light side of the Force then, though.
Go for it.
I got a question for you, Chris. Since the symbiote is alive, can't Venom just, create, like a full shape decoy or whatever in several different spots, so Vader has a hard time sensing?
So let's now, if we're going to get into Deep Dark Venom and the history of Venom, you have to realize this: Venom can only appear almost invisible to Peter Parker. That's it. He can't necessarily make himself invisible to other characters. Not if we're talking OG Venom.
He can fix his presence, and you can almost argue he has the Force, because he even has the power to hear the universe. That's one of his powers. I mean, if you Google it, that's top 10 so Venom powers.
You're talking godlike Venom. You're not talking OG Venom.
I'm not getting too Donny Katie with it, but I mean, it's up there. But like I said, yeah. I mean, let's say there's even two people. I just don't think he's. You got to remember when it's Venom, when he's Eddie Brock, not just a goo, right? I'm counting Venom as Venom with Eddie Brock. He is hold on, this asshole is not going to let me through. Okay.
I'm definitely going to have to exploit this on a podcast.
Sorry, yeah, I'm terrible at my lives. I forgot I'm a guest. I apologize. I'll keep it PG-13.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. What was I saying? I'm seeing him as Venom. Vader has gone against strong people, sure, but you're talking about a super being. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, again, you're going to debate how strong is the Force. Is it you're physically strong where it's slow, where it's harder for him to grasp someone? The stronger they are, like how. There's no really Star Wars. There's no guideline, which
So let's talk about that for a sec. But first, I just want to revisit the whole Anakin wiping out a temple full of children. Let's not forget that Venom feeds on the homeless. So if you want to cross argue Darth Vader saying that he wiped out children, I will cross argue that Venom literally eats homeless. However, to argue Vader's abilities is almost pointless. We're talking about the last appearance of Venom that we had in the Obi-Wan series. We saw Darth Vader in his prime literally stop a starship that was taking off and pull it back to the ground and rip the walls off of it, looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The gainer, he's doing gainer flips like he's Count Dooku in Disney Plus. That's hard. That's not the Vader we grew. Like that's not
Darth Vader. That's Anakin,
Vader.
And he's using the light side of the Force. Stick to Darth Vader, my man. Stick to Darth Vader.
Right.
Everything post Temple.
Yeah, Disney Plus, man. They just trying to please the new generation. But the real Darth Vader, let's be honest, he moved less than Keaton's Batman. Okay, that guy was not doing gainers off buildings like he's Count Dooku. Vader in general has strong strikes. That's Vader's thing. He's not the flexible agility Anakin. He just has powerful blows. That's pretty much what he is.
We're talking a master swordsman, someone who is a master of his craft when it comes to knowing the Force.
For sure.
And a strong military mind from his former life that he once was as someone else. Venom is just a photographer that's juiced up on steroids that happens to have an alien symbiote on him, who because of a broken heart is only a villain to Peter Parker. In the end, Venom is not a villain. Venom is an anti-hero At best.
That's
At
like
best.
the new Venom
So that's why I
anti-hero.
now challenge you, Matt. Why is Venom even in this tournament? He shouldn't be here. He's only a villain to one person.
Oh no! These days, people love villains, so they make a villain look like an anti-hero. Venom straight up is a villain. That's that. I mean, from the childhood Venom. You know what I'm saying?
Venom.
I'm not talking about the MCU.
Yes, sir. Villains and anti-heroes, all they have to do is be a villain at one point in their history, and they qualified to be in this round.
So next year, I hope to see the Punisher here as well.
You opened the door on the Disney Plus, all right? I knew that was coming because Vader is like the most beast he's ever been. But he also, I mean, getting hit one time by Obi-Wan and he just goes down like a sack of potatoes. Let's be honest. When they finally
I will give you this one. I will give you this one. There's only been one person that's ever handed Vader his rear end. Trying to keep this PG. However, I don't have enough fingers and toes to talk about the amount of times that Spider-Man and Carnage has done the same thing to Venom.
For sure, but remember that he never died. He still regenerates himself, so he can take that hit. You gotta remember, the lightsaber is powerful.
Vader's only died once.
A lightsaber is powerful
and stayed dead.
And stayed dead.
Vader stabbed a little girl. She survived. Waited until she grew up again, stabbed her again, and she still survives. A lightsaber is powerful, but against someone like Venom, he can take at least 1 or 2 hits. If he's close enough and gets 1 hit off in that chest, Vader's gone. He's taking off his mask and he's dropping a tear and he's gonna give a speech about his life. You got to remember you're looking at 2 different universes. Again, that's why I love What If. But as far as Spider-Man, which arguably has the greatest villains and most amount of villains, Spider-Man has always held his own against like 10 legit villains, right? I mean, I can't really think of anything that like comes to that level where he has so many villains and he doesn't really have too many people helping him out when he fights these villains, right? I mean, that makes Spider-Man OP. But I'm saying Venom in a universe like Marvel, he is big. When you look at Star Wars, because the universe is so much smaller, you're like Darth Vader. That's Darth Vader. That's the darkness. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about Darth Maul and all that stuff, but I mean, Darth Vader is the one. It's just a whole different universe. It's hard to compete. If you drop Vader and put him in the MCU, he's not going to be no top 10 villain. That's just the truth. There's too many villains that would take him down. It would take away from the glory what Star Wars is if you take Darth Vader and put him in the MCU. Is all I'm saying. You kind of have to look at it unbiasedly. Like again, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I
wholeheartedly disagree. If we were to flip the script and flip universes with the MCU and Star Wars and pick Darth Vader up and drop him in the MCU, it would be much like the Scarlet Witch when she ran into Mr. Fantastic. When it comes to force using, and anyone who happened to get close would be feeling the hot end of a red lightsaber.
So
and that includes Venom, who once Vader realized that there's something scrawling on his body, would rip him apart.
Bro, if you put Venom in the Star
Wars
Rogue
universe, One,
Venom, I mean, he'd be top dog. Venom would be top dog in the Star Wars universe. He would probably bond with the Emperor or Vader. But I'm saying Venom's up there, and he would F that.
I think he would have the same. I think he would have the same ranks as maybe the Rancor monster.
No, he ain't no Chewie. Don't ever call Venom a Chewie if you dropped him over there, bro.
Emperor would absorb Venom and go, yes, good.
If you go on it unbiased, Venom wins. That's all.
I sincerely don't agree with you. Just because let's talk about Venom's weaknesses. There are many. Compared to Vader, there are many. We can talk about heat, we can talk about sound, and if he got close, just feeling the heat of the lightsaber, there would be that step in the wrong direction. He would back up.
You're right. Vader's suit is so damn old, that thing probably makes some high frequency noises for Venom, for sure.
Yeah. Vader's suit still has dial-up.
Venom just
I don't care if he's AOL online. It doesn't matter. He still has a strong bandwidth. It's moving. He will be moving forward.
That's that what ifs. You never know. Step in that room, Venom just leaves. He says, "I'm outie." But this is a quick fight. I think we agree if you put him in an arena, it would be a quick fight. It wouldn't be, it'd go real quick in Vader's favor, or Venom got the shot off, or he didn't. That's what I think comes down.
I made this point in several videos, several points that I do think that this video has to end quick. This fight has to end quickly, because if it goes on too long, I see it going towards Venom's favor because of the whole symbiote regeneration process and the fact that he can doesn't seem to die. Whereas Vader has the suit that he is relying on for a long period, because he cannot be out of it for a long period of time. He has to have the suit, and then he can die. Or he has died and has not come back, unlike his master, who is like a cockroach apparently, but so this fight has to be ended quickly by Vader, which does lead a benefit to his military mind, the fact that he's been through war and the sense of foresight.
He has a military mind, but let's not act like this guy was top dog general because he's a mastermind. He was a powerful dude, but he's always balls deep. One thing we can agree, and I hope, is that he was very impatient. Even when he matured, he was still eager and cocky. You know what I'm saying? He was very. He always thought he was the most powerful person in the room, because most of the time he was. He always underestimates people, I would say. Always. Even, I mean, look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. He underestimated him like twice in the Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. I do agree that Vader with certain elements can be short-sighted, but 9 times out of 10, Vader is the one that's almost the last line. And we're talking about a man who doesn't step forward without recon or any type of proper reconnaissance being done. Whereas Venom does appear to be hell-bent on revenge and dives in head first. And that's primarily why he's defeated when he's represented as a villain 9 times out of 10. That, yeah, he does have the ability not to trigger the spidey sense of Peter Parker. But he has been bested by Miles. He has been bested by Carnage and other symbiotes that way.
Good point.
Again, because it's Marvel. He's the villain. He has to get bested sooner or later. But Star Wars, they kind of kept it like, that's Lord Vader. He's a dark. I mean, if you just look at it, when he goes onto a ship, enemy ship, right? These soldiers are afraid of him. Let's be honest, they are afraid of him. But they're still lined up shooting this guy because they don't actually know his power, because his reputation is more scary than what they think he is. And I mean, he's still, if he went on one-on-one with someone like, let's say, Venom. Venom's not someone that kind of just stands forward and say, let's box. He's still like Spider-Man, where he's jumping corner to corner. He's probably whipping webs at boxes or cargo things, flying it at him. So Darth Vader, it's not like he's going to have like all this concentration to grab him with the Force too. Venom's going to be moving and flying stuff at him, where he's going to be, he's not fast enough to dodge. He's going to be using the Force to block these things that he's throwing, which I think would have an opening for Venom to get close. And that's why I think Vader would bust the lightsaber, not knowing how powerful this guy is, stab him, which he stabbed a few people and still missed the target. And I think that's where he gets the hit off. And one swipe from Venom, that chest piece, bro, I think he's done.
I think Venom has the small advantage too. Venom has the knowledge of Spider-Man and all the villains he's faced, so we might be able to compare some sort of similarity, maybe with Doctor Strange or Wanda, compared to what Vader can do.
A huge advantage. Vader, all these different people, right?
As far as I know, in Star Wars, there's no equivalent of the symbiotes, so Vader would be a little more.
No,
what is this guy? Now, it's not
he wouldn't know what
his Jedi battle and gone head to head in other Jedi, gone head to head with other Sith. Like this is not someone who's not prepared. He's literally fought in a war and was hands on running into battle. Like, this is not someone who is not ill prepared. This is not someone who's just day one stepping forward saying, "Hey, I can handle myself." This is a person who's handled wars, plural, and is a pilot as well.
He'd be going ham against those droids for sure, bro. But Venom be going against people where it's like a new species every weekend episode. You know what I'm saying? Every Saturday, this guy was befriending or seeing some weird stuff.
To say Darth Vader has not gone up against different alien species. Come on now, like this, it's literally set in space on different planets. Hey, like the Clone Wars does represent many different types of species he's going against.
There's too many Jabba the Hutt type of creatures, bro. They don't got the stuff the MCU got. You got to walk away from Jabba. You don't have to be too afraid.
Yeah. Ryan, you see
Chris? Like I said, first glance on the paper, I'm voting Darth Vader. But I'm saying you close your eyes, you visualize. Call me Uncle Ricky, because it's children, it's story time. You know what I'm saying? You really think about it. It's just it's.
Yeah.
this vision. I mean, you just think about the fight. It's one hit. Let me say this to you. Would you agree if he gets one good hit off, like just a swipe at his chest? Do you think Vader would lose? Would you agree with that?
No, because Vader's lost half his mask and still push forward. Like this, again, I understand that you want to say
there was a hole in his gas tank though when he lost half his mask. That was on.
I get that you want to say like if Venom gets one shot, and my big thing is it's not coming. That shot is just not coming. If it was the second that Vader realizes that it's just a symbiotic outfit, he is going to use the Force and separate the two. By the time he figures that out, I think that second would come too late, and I think he'll be on the floor crawling with his electricity shooting out of his chest piece, and it'd be like, damn. If this was Anakin Skywalker, I would wholeheartedly agree with you. But this is not Anakin Skywalker anymore. See, this is someone who's been through wars, plural, that does have the military mind to realize you have to recon before you battle.
All right, here's a question for you guys. Son of a Bruce asks, what's to stop Vader from just using the Force to lock the symbiote into Eddie? Stop him from coming out, because then he's just a human with no special abilities. That's the biggest what if that the best question on that. The question is a superhuman, that's what Venom is, right? Is that a difference between, an 80-year-old colonel on the starship?
Come on, 80, come on, man. Come on.
79. But
again, you're arguing for a juiced up photographer, man, and it was just a freelancer who got canned. He couldn't handle a church bell.
Wi-Fi, connecting to Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd like to hear more your insight on how you think that fight would go down, Bet.
To be honest, if I was arguing Venom, I would have a tough time. To be honest with you, it's a tough battle going either way. The arguments I've had twice previously where Vader's come forward to get to this point in the tournament, Venom is a lethal opponent when it comes to Darth Vader. But I'm just thinking Venom just has too many weaknesses that easily get represented. When it comes to Vader, you can talk about the chest plate, but who's to say that Eddie Brock / the Venom symbiote realize in a short amount of time that would be considered Vader's weakness? I just think stepping forward, both would be intimidated. Both would probably take that step forward first on both sides. I just think when the lightsaber comes into action, that's the one up where Venom takes that step backwards to recalculate, and that's when then the Force comes into play.
Cool. Do we have any fresh points we want to bring up? Because I know Chris does have some company coming over, and I would like for him to have a chance to have his closing statement and not just cut out. So do you have any fresh points you want to add? And we can basically move to closing statements otherwise.
I'll let Harsh go ahead.
For my closing statement?
If you want, if you had no fresh points to add, it's up to you.
Again, I respect the vote either way. It's one of those things where Darth Vader definitely that's my first thought. Second thought is if it goes in Venom's favor, it can be done. That's my thing. So again, if I had a vote, it'd be tricky, which I did vote for myself. I'm gonna be honest. I did vote Venom because it's me. But I said this is a good fight. Who did Vader go against before this? I'm sorry.
Vader went up against Owlman. He went up against. Let's see if I have him in here. He went up against Owlman the first round. In the first round, he went up against Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
So.
Okay. No Galactus though, but I mean that's not bad.
Yeah, this is his first real powerhouse this season.
So Ra's al Ghul and Owlman, the Batman lovers came out of the woodwork to support those two villains. So that was difficult.
I bet. I mean, like I told Mr. Comics, my favorite villain is Raish. So it's like, I mean, you're a good master debater. So I probably would have lost against you.
Yeah. All right. So that your closing statement was there, Chris. What does Darth Vader's closing statement sound like? Besides,
right?
So the one thing I do want, one thing that I haven't mentioned before is the voice. James Earl Jones has perfected the voice of Darth Vader so much so to the point where because of the work that he did with Darth Vader, has now gotten him much more employment, including the voice of CNN, The Lion King, and the list goes on and on. Everything about this character at this point in time now is iconic. From the look to the sound, even to the music that's played when he enters the room. But
yeah, and go. Sorry, I thought you were done. Go on.
That's it. I'm good.
All right, and Comic Journey to the reason why is all the characters. I choose the characters at the beginning of the season at all that, and then random will sets them up at random. That way, I don't pick favorites and all that or line things up unfairly. And then the winners face off against the winners until that's left. So Venom and Darth Vader face off because that's how the cookie crumbles.
Right. And again, we're mixing universes. There's really no rules. It's like you can go make and model on a character, which is fun because a lot of times people do put so many caps, on what ifs and knockouts like these. So I mean, it's I appreciate this. It kind of gets you thinking, which is we're all comic lovers, so it just gets you thinking maybe something you never thought of. I never thought of Venom versus Vader before this.
Yeah.
I don't like this game. Well, sorry.
And the one thing I can say to this is that this time, much like when Darth Vader went up against Ra's al Ghul, it almost pains me because it's obviously you have to represent one side, but it's difficult to go up against a character that you enjoy so much that happens to be on the other side of the versus banner, and this time being Venom. It again, much like Ra's al Ghul, this is painful for me to go up against and start ripping apart a character that I really enjoy so much, being Venom.
All right. Quickly, if anyone has a vote still in the chat, I don't know if it's clickable on Chris's channel. For those of you guys who are guests from his channel, get welcome again. Thank you for showing up.
Oh yeah, last I checked, I think Venom was only down by like 20, right? We got like at least 21 people in the chat.
Yeah. Well, we had up to 13, about down to 9. We've done. This is slightly more popular this episode than usual, but then again, that's because we have guests streaming in from another channel as well, helping me out. So
it's just that I came late, so they all left, huh? They're probably like, who looks?
yeah, like, oh, that kid's not here.
Right on.
Awesome.
Again,
right.
I apologize to you for coming late. I got my time zones mixed up. Mountain Standard Time is so weird compared to others.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like being in Mountain Standard Time, and that way I'm kind of right in between, in a sense. But yeah, I do have to purposely think back an hour forward too.
Yeah, we drop pick up a lot different than other states.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone Pacific, Mountain Standard, Eastern, gone, okay, 4 hours, that's the time, kind of thing, just to, all right. The results are in. Poison Ivy will be facing off against, the results are Darth Vader with 20 votes, Venom with 9. So it was a Sith victory.
I respect it.
Congratulations, Chris. You're moving up against
GG.
Poison Ivy. So it will be a fun fight, and I'll get together with you and JP, and we'll see what works best for you guys. I'm assuming next Saturday for your schedule, and then we'll have to see what the championship will bring if you carry through again. So, but that's for another time. Next, so until then, on Wednesday we have the next episode of the Knockout, where we have Loki versus Doctor Doom.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're deciding who will go forward into the championship of that matchup. So,
how the hell is Poison Ivy still in this fight? How are you promoting her? Is she topless in these promos or something?
Two reasons: boobs and DC fans.
Yeah.
So,
right, that's a good one. I mean, it's an easy one, but it's a good one. That'll be the time I vote for Vader, probably.
yeah. But yeah, that's it. So, Chris, I will get back to you here soon with what you guys want to do with JP. We'll figure out a time for you guys. Until then, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Loki versus Doctor Doom. That'll be a fun fight. So, all right, take care, everyone. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Talk to you later.